So those of you that have added and done additional content, have you seen an increase in the amount of people that are engaging with you? Have you seen any sort of traction?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you, so for those of you, so I wore the logo today. I kind of dressed down just so you could see the logo. So if you did not join the VIP group, join it. All right. I want you guys to be active in the group. I went live last night and I shot a video. There are 6 or 7 agents, and Karen posted on there, that have posted about conversion of leads. Deb Ambrosi said that she did a live video and got a sale out of her live video where someone that was a past client saw her and said, oh yeah, by the way, we're in the market to buy a home. She might have fallen into that 92% that never reached back out to their real estate agent. But because she put herself out there and was on video, led to a sale. Okay, so people are putting in their success stories. I want you guys to put in your success stories, but more than anything, I want you to put in the things you have questions about, kind of like your question. One lady said, well, all the leads come in after 8 o'clock. When should I call them? I feel bad calling after 8 o'clock, right?
801.
Exactly. Well, and so Jennifer Young, who I know that you know and stuff, she's converted at the highest level because she'll tell you at 8, 9 o'clock, she's sitting in bed, her and Trey, who are both real estate agents, and now they start having competitions to see who they can get a hold of, and they're texting. And then, because, you know, if they come in at 8 or 9, you text them at 8 or 9. If they come in at 2 o'clock in the morning, set your phone to text them at 2 o'clock because they might be a shift worker that's a nurse that doesn't get off till midnight. Right? You don't call those people at 7:30 in the morning, they're sleeping. Okay? So just keep that in mind. But what we're going to talk about today is twofold. We're going to talk first about how to build your brand and farming groups. Okay, so what we're going to do today, again, is very high level. The next 2 classes are very high level, and then we're going to get granular. But here we go. Maybe, if it works. Oh, there we go. All right, so what are we going to learn? We're going to learn what groups to farm. That's very important. You need to know where to go farm. How do you find the right groups? What is the proper way to engage in a group? This is very important. Every group has rules. If you break the rules, you get kicked out of the group. I'm going to tell you a story about how I pretty much almost got kicked out of a really big group. What type of post to look for that can lead to a listing or sale? And then what is the process of closing a sale via Facebook? So remember, if you're farming Facebook groups, people want to be communicated, and you need to sell people where they want to be sold. 33 and younger is the millennial generation. It is the largest generation since the baby boomer. It is larger than Gen X and Gen Y combined. They don't want to talk to you. So the first question you should ask people is, so, how would you like to be communicated with? Millennials are the most over-informed generation that knows absolutely nothing. Think about it. For their entire life, the internet's been around. They've been inundated with information. Some of them don't even realize that there's fake news. They believe that if it's on the internet, like during the election, my daughter was like, well, what do you mean there's fake news? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, y'all ever see on Facebook where it's like Matthew McConaughey is moving to, you know, Magnolia, Texas? No, he's not. But people believe it. Sandra Bullock's moving here, right? So Facebook is the #2 search engine behind Google, but it does not vet for fake news. Anyone today with a phone and 2 thumbs is a reporter. Y'all see what, you know, they're doing all the V-blogging and things like that, so just be aware of that. So we're going to show you how to close via Facebook. All right, so we're going to go over this pretty quickly. Facebook algorithm. This is what we talked about last time. I don't think you can ever hear this enough because this is the essential. So you have 3 things that it's made up of. Time decay. Remember, you have 70 seconds for Facebook to decide whatever you posted was engaging enough for it to put it in front of other people. All right? If you don't get engagement within 70 seconds, it's going to go to the purgatory wall over there at the side. The sidebar of doom in gray. Okay? Every time someone likes, comments, or shares, that 70 seconds starts over. Did y'all see my post this morning? Y'all remember the whip effect? So my post this morning is, what should I buy my wife for Valentine's Day? I have 57 comments in the last hour. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I love her all year long.
There you go.
So we don't get gifts. But here's the thing, do I really care? It's not about that. What I'm looking for is engagement. In fact, one of my real estate agents says, I see you whip, is what she posted. And then I said, I see you nay-nay. And then I said, apparently, you've been paying attention. Because all I'm looking for with that post, I don't care. I mean, I love that you guys are participating. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to read the comments, right? But at the end of the day, that whole post was solely to create engagement this morning. Because I'm going to be doing a veteran video this afternoon that I want every one of those people to see. Okay? So, we got 70 seconds. Now remember, wait. We're looking for likes, comments, and shares. What we really want, if we're not going to get a comment or a share, we want someone to hover over it long enough to give us a love or a wow or a sad face, right? That increases your edge rank. Y'all remember what edge rank is? SEO for Facebook. Okay, that determines who sees what. Now, weight in what you post. Smallest to largest. Remember, we don't post links. We're going to have an entire class on YouTube, but if you post a YouTube link, no one's going to see it. Did anybody go back and check their HAR link that they put on Facebook to see how many people liked it? Good job. Okay, so go back and look.
They suppress it. It's like 3.
It's like 3.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying take the photo from the listing instead of the link?
We're going to talk about that today. That's actually what part of today's class is. But yes, you would be better off taking the photo and typing up your own verbiage than putting the link.
I know Facebook recently gave me a $30 credit
To boost a post?
to boost my
Yep.
website, my website.
Yeah, they're going to so they're going to do that. They're going to get in front of a bunch of people with no call to action, and then they're going to take your money. I'm going to show you today what's different. We're going to actually, in one of the classes, I'm going to show you how to take a video or take a whatever and actually how to boost it and get the most for it. And then take it even one step further. But anything that has an external link, Facebook is going to suppress. Okay? So, small text, unless you use their homemade little memes now, small text gets nothing. So if you'll notice, mine had the little hearts on it because that's something Facebook created. So I got more exposure. Pictures, remember Facebook doesn't like photos unless what? They're shared through Instagram. 4 times the amount of views. Large text. Yes, ma'am.
So I tried sharing an Instagram photo, except it's shared to my business.
So you have to unconnect them.
Oh.
You got to unconnect. So mine used to be to my business page. Now it's to my personal. You can pick which one you want to connect to.
So I have a stupid question. Is it from Facebook to Instagram or Instagram to Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay.
Because the only thing you can do on Instagram is pictures. Yes.
So I had several agents this week say, Chad said we don't need a Facebook business page.
I said Facebook business pages will never be seen. Now, I will tell you, if you have one, utilize it. The only thing Facebook business pages are good for, though, for the most part, is running ads. Okay? So if you're going to run ads, like for your homes, I would suggest having one. But I take everything from my personal and share it to my business, except for one thing, which we're going to talk about today because it's farming groups. If you're going to post something in a group, you go from your business page to the group. I showed y'all what my wife did. That was her business page that was in the group. They got 1,000 views in 18 hours, and she got a sale out of it just doing the homemade newsletter. Okay, that whole thing is in the VIP group. So if you want to copy it,
I don't understand how to use any of this stuff. So, will you show us how to
that's the first class of modern marketing. So this is all high level stuff. So don't get hung up. I just want you to understand the concepts. Then I'm going to be sitting right over there on the computer, and everything will be being done as you guys. That was the thing. So I started teaching these classes, and Frank knows, and people would get all excited, and then they go home and go, "What did he say again? What do we do? I can't remember." And then no action was ever taken. So that's why I introduced the 8-week modern marketing, where it's very granular. We're going to take all of this, and I'm going to do it, and you're going to witness me doing it.
Okay, because I got all those things that you said, like
Yep.
Instagram and
Snapchat.
and all, I
Perfect.
got all those little icons now on my phone, but I don't know what to do with
No,
any of
well, there's a class for every single one of those.
So do we need to be growing our Instagram people too?
Yep.
Holy moly.
Because Instagram has the algorithm just like Facebook. Y'all are jumping ahead. Hold on. Okay.
Chad, on Instagram, you can only do pictures?
Yeah, it's only,
Not videos.
well, you can do video, but the videos has to be less than a minute.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying you're not typing your status like, "Hey, I'm going to
Yeah.
the mall" on Instagram.
Yeah.
Would you clarify again the difference between small text and large text?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. So large text is not the size, it's the amount of content you put. Facebook's edge rank does not give you any credit if you copy and paste. It wants you, remember, it rewards you for time in the box, which is why we're going over this again, because this is the most important foundation of everything about social media. Every social media outlet, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, it wants organic content, meaning you took the time to put the content in. So Facebook rewards you for time in the box. What's the average amount of time people spend on Facebook a day?
4 hours.
4.5 hours. Okay. If it takes you 5 minutes to type it and it takes me 3 minutes to read it, that means that's 3.5 minutes I'm not getting off of it. It's going to reward it to more people. So my wife's post, she had to hand type it all the way on her business page and all the way on her personal page. Invest the 5 minutes. If you copy and paste, which is what most of you do, That's why you're not seeing any responses. That's why you're not seeing any engagement. If you go look at like Frank's stuff, if he posts something about his daughter, or the pictures of the thing they did at church, tons of engagement. But if you post an article from Realtor.com, no engagement. There's a reason. It's rewarding you for that organic growth. It wants people to experience life with others, not just flood useless information. And useless information to them is any information that takes you off of Facebook.
Do little icons make a difference?
Yes, the more little emojis you use, the better. So what I do is I type them in my phone. I type it on the computer because it's faster. Then I edit it on my phone and I add house symbols, money symbols, booms, fire. You name it, it's on there. Okay? All right. Then from there, we want pictures with large text and then videos. We're going to have an entire class on video. I didn't need. Live video gets 5 times the amount of views. Yes, sir.
If you're wanting to talk about a link, can you type something, describe the link, and then in the comments put the link?
No. In the comments you'd have better luck. So like to your website,
or like to an article.
So here's what you say. According to one of the most respected, I would probably say real estate blogs or whatever. This is where because you can source it. But why would you want them going to Realtor.com to get their information instead of coming to you? Every time you send them somewhere else, you lose the effect of being the expert. And remember, that's what we really want to be about. Nothing here, guys. You think Realtor.com is the only one that says you to declutter? Because I think I just heard Kat, the stager, say declutter. It's all regurgitated information. Just put it in your own words, and then you get to become the expert.
And you said have people post it for us, like our closings. Like I'm
Yep.
doing after this
Yep.
live video with a girlfriend. She has to do an interview on a subject.
Yeah.
So have her post that to my wall.
And tag you.
Okay.
And then she basically just gave you third-party social proof.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Last one, affinity. Tying in your friends of friends. You got to like their stuff, comment, engage, share. Guys, you have to be active. For those of you that were active in the past week, you probably noticed that your friend request is up, and you got a lot more. You got a lot more stuff. I noticed last night when we were going back and forth, people were like, "Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that," and they're starting to engage with you because you actually have information they're interested in. Okay.
And I had a valid source though. I think that's what when I said, "Oh no, Chad did a class," and all of a sudden it blew up.
Well, because now what happened is that you landed on my syndicate, which is 4,980 people. So what you did is you just increased your awareness, and that's why we're going to do an entire class on hashtags. I want you guys to let me get through a lot of this because we're going to think big picture and then realize we're going to take all of this and make it very granular.
What's hashtag mean?
We'll get to it.
Pound sign.
All right, what does that say right there? Hashtag imperfect action takers, right? All right.
But
So,
what does it mean?
well, hold on. So every time I tag hashtag imperfect action takers, if you go type in hashtag imperfect action takers on Facebook, every video, every post, everything that I've ever done, my book, everything will show up. So it's a branding mechanism. Okay? So like hashtag Winter Olympics. If you go in there, you're going to see stuff where people have done the Olympics. It's just strictly for branding. That's all it is. And what are we working on here? Building your brand. Okay? So, let me get there because I'm going to talk about that too. All right, so what groups do you want to farm? Garage sale groups. These sites have a large amount of members that are selling stuff. This is where people actually put their stuff before they're thinking about selling. If you see someone says everything must go, you should be asking, including the house? Boom. Okay? Community pages. Now, many folks will post on their community page to market their home before they ever list it with a real estate agent. You'll see them where they say, "Hey, my husband's getting transferred to Abu Dhabi. Who'd like to pick their neighbor over here on Gladys Yoakum?" Right? Now, and nothing wrong with this, but most of you, except for Frank, I think didn't raise your hand when I asked you, are you the preferred real estate agent in your community? And you're probably not. This is a great place to farm and start creating that brand. My wife is not the preferred real estate agent in our community. My wife only sells the homes that we buy and flip for our company. She is not an active real estate agent that goes out there. She gets no leads from me. She doesn't do 90% of this stuff. But when she posted that one newsletter in there, she landed a listing and a sale. $400,000 sale, $300,000 purchase. They went out and looked at homes this past weekend. Okay? So, because at that time, when that lady just happened to be on there, she happened to be the expert. Okay?
So Chad, I was trying to join a bunch of community pages.
Yeah, they typically want you to live there.
They want you to, live in there.
There are some area pages, like where I live, the Pecan Grove area is what they call it. So it's Pecan Grove, River's Edge, Longmeadow Farms, Texana. So you can look for some area pages. But yeah, and then you're going to have some.
Part. There were a lot of them.
They want your address. They're going to verify it.
My address is not there. I'm sorry. I can't
Yeah.
show it.
Yeah, but I'm an expert in the area.
A lot of those will say like the garage sale sites, or the beg barter, whatever you want to call them. They'll say no selling.
Yeah.
In the rules, and then in the community, I've seen a lot of times when they're posting their homes, they'll say no realtors, please.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. Okay. Because what happens is they're not engaging in the groups properly, and there's a whole slide on that. Real estate pages. Now, don't get butthurt, but this is where your sellers post their stuff because they don't think you're doing a good job. I own Hot Homes of the Woodlands, Hot Homes of Katy, Hot Homes of Sugarland, Hot Homes of League City. Okay, I can't tell you how many we get where they say, "Hey, can you please post my listing on your page, please?" And we're like, "Well, okay. Is it listed with someone?" "Yeah, it's listed with Susie over at Remax." And then we always reach out to Susie to let her know because we're all about relationship building and building our business. But we also want to let them know, hey, your buyer is going around trying to get their stuff. You might want to communicate with them and just reiterate, because what you don't want them to do is think you're not doing a good job. Okay? Because let's be honest, in today's technology age, people can do so much on their own and they think they're smarter than you. Because HGTV told them and the gospel of Google.
Yep.
Right?
It's got to be true.
I mean, that's
Start on the net.
Yeah, I mean, Property Brothers told me, right? Joanna Gaines says I'm supposed to do this. I mean, it's good and bad because they are a little more educated. The problem is you guys are the experts. All right, so real estate pages, lifestyle pages. Remember I said this before, there are riches and niches. And I'm going to tell you a story about that here in just a minute. Dog lover groups, boat lover groups, car enthusiasts. And then the last one, sales pages. There's a large amount of people on these sales pages, okay? Sales Talks with Sales Pros. Like I said, if the F word bothers you, don't jump on there. But there are 70,000 people on there. 70,000. I venture to guess in that 70 grand, someone's buying a house in Houston this year.
What page is that?
Sales Talks with Sales Pros. So what Ryan Stewman did is I was with him when that page was created. So everything I'm teaching you, he charges $5,000 for 2 days. It's called Break Free Academy. I'm giving it to you at no charge, right? But there's a catch, right? Who was asking? There's always a catch, right? The catch is we're going to do some business. But here's what happened. We had a great day. It was people flew in from all over the country. There was about 10 of us. And we were all sharing what worked with us, just like what you guys get to do kind of in these mastermind groups. And he said, wouldn't it be great if we had an online presence where people could share what worked? Hence why I put the VIP group together. And we started sharing. And then it was like, hey, go add some of your friends. That thing went from 5 or 12 people that morning to 7. You're going to see it up here with like 30,000 people. Today there's close to 70. Oh my gosh. You know how much business he has made? Millions and millions of dollars because he's the expert in the group. Okay, and we're going to talk about that today. All right, so garage sale pages. Check these numbers out. 12,700, 22,000, 48,000. So, I don't know, quick math, that's over 80,000 people to market to for free. Okay.
Wow.
Community pages. 1,300, 15,000, 3,000. Almost 20,000 people in community pages. Okay. Pecan Grove neighborhood page, that's a closed group. Neighborhood Watch of Cypress, though, if you live anywhere in Cypress, you can be on that page. That's not specific to the community. Real estate pages. Now, I own All About Real Estate Houston. I created my own syndicate group, which I'm going to share with you today. There was about 1,200 people. Today, there's about 3,000. That's consisted of you guys and buyers and sellers. It's a place for you to post your listings, your coming soons, what you're looking for. It's a reference guide for people. But how many lenders do you think get to really market in here? Me. Because of my group. Now, y'all are a little different. You need each other because you need each other's listings and things like that. Make it accessible to other agents because you might not know about that one home that's hidden in Oak Forest that's a great investor special. But Rosemarie might, and I might be right in the market or have a buyer right in the market for that. Plus, when you engage and play nicely with others, they're much more likely to bring you someone because they're like, oh, I remember working with Carol. She was really nice. That was a great transaction. Because we've all worked with those agents that we don't want to go show their properties. right?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about. The mean ones that yell at us.
It doesn't happen.
Right? Never happens. Did it happen to you?
All the time.
Did they beat you up? Right?
Maybe once or twice.
Once or twice, right? Well, here's the problem. Let's be honest, guys. When 92% of y'all suck, according to NAR, I mean, you're throwing it up there to figure out. Part-timers that don't answer their phone. They can't afford the $10 a month to be on centralized showing. I mean, those little things are frustrating for you guys. They don't return phone calls. Like, are you trying to sell the house or what? Well, it's because they're at their day job. I get it. But the point is what we want to do is eliminate the part-timers and get people, because trust me, people don't understand the importance of part-time versus full-time. They don't understand the difference between FSBO because Google and HGTV says everyone. I mean, hello, there's shows about FSBOs. Everyone thinks they're a flipper and investor because it's on like every 30 minutes. That shit looks easy. I can get that done in 30 minutes. Maybe an hour-long show, depending on which one it is. I got a flip right now. It's longer than an hour. Okay? But real estate pages are a great place. Now, this one blew my mind. Lifestyle pages. Dog lovers. Car lovers. So, check this out. 4.3 million dog lovers. 907,378. Y'all, that's like almost 6 million people. So if you're a crazy dog lover person, anybody got their dog on their business card? Not yet, but everyone's going to go get it done today. All right, so there's this guy, Glenn Groves. So I meet him. I got to speak at a conference after I wrote the book, got invited to speak at some events. And I met this guy, and I knew him from a group on Facebook, shook his hand, he gave me his card. And I looked at it, and, you know, we're in sales. All of us have egos. So I look at this dude's card, and I'm like, dude, give me your man card. Like, it was a card of him and his dog. He wasn't like an old guy. He's like my age, like 40 years old with the quintessential golden retriever sitting there with his, like, you know, like. I was like, your wife made you do that, right? No, man, I love my dog, right? Here's the thing. So someone had this great idea in this group at the end of the year one year to post. He said we should post, not him, but someone said we should post W-2s, right? There's no bigger measuring stick in the entrepreneurial world than your check. We should post W-2s, and the thought was let's see if you did more this year than you did last year, and did this group bring value? That guy posted a W-2 of over $650,000. I bet you some crazy-ass dog lovers were some of his clients because he had something else to talk about other than what color or what the interest rate was or what the payment was because they connected on a different level. So there are riches and niches. I bet in the 6 million people, someone's buying a house in Houston this year. Mm-hmm. Cars, 120,000, 510, 733,000. Same thing. Yes.
I'm sorry. Are you posting in this, or what are you doing?
I'm going to get there. I'm going to show. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Okay. But just know this is where buyers are at, right? So buyers are there. All right. Sales pages. So here's the one I was talking about. Sales Talks with Sales Pros. Oops. At this time, it had 35,000 members. Like I said, it's up to 70. Anybody a member of Real Estate Happy Hour? Right. You like that group, huh?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's a group where basically y'all get to bitch and complain about lenders, buyers, someone needs to sell a pen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's basically American Pie high school potty humor. There is no selling. You don't get to put a listing in there. You don't get to ask for a referral in there. That stuff gets you kicked out. It's literally meant to be a place for you to blow off steam. It is a virtual happy hour. The things that you can't get in trouble for at work, or that you would get in trouble for in the workplace, right? But here's the thing. People needed an outlet to be able to get referrals. Mm-hmm. So they created Real Estate Happy Hour Referral Group. Now here's what's funny. And there's probably more now. There was only 800 people. There's 15,000 people in the group. Tells you that people were not really there for work stuff. They're there just to blow off steam and talk about. But it's also a place to get, like, you run into a very unique situation. You can go in there and say, hey, I ran into this problem. This happened with this buyer, this seller. Can someone give me some advice? So it is kind of one of those sounding boards as well. But it's a great group to get business, and then a referral business spawned off of it. All right, so what do you need to do, which is what you were asking. So you need to create your own syndicate group. Create a page directed to your perfect client. This is not a business page. This is not a community page. This is a group. I created that VIP modern marketing group for you guys to interact. Use the group to attract and repel the clients you want to work with. I better eat lunch today. That you want to work with. That's really important. Provide, now here's the catch. So you were saying, do you post in these groups? Here's what you do. You have to provide value and content with no sales pitch. That's your problem. If you go in there, what do you guys do? Hi, I'm Chad with Remax Realty, and I sell real estate in Houston. Anyone want to buy or sell real estate? Give me a call. That's what you see in there when people join. Hey, stupid, it's a real estate group. Everybody in here sells real estate.
I have to tell you, I joined a group this past week. It was for people that are landlords, property managers, and renters, and it was really kind of fun. My comment to just join the group and introduce myself was, "Hi, I need my light bulb changed," and I got a bazillion.
Yeah.
It was amazing just seeing it happening.
The content and value, what we want, remember guys, is we want to engage in the group and become a member of that group, that community. Then they go back to our personal page to find out what we really do. Okay? So, value will move the marketplace. The clients will reach out to you. So in a dog lovers group, guess what? You should talk about dogs. Now, you might have a house. Well, here, let's say this. Use others in your industry. So this is what I just said, to build content and value in your group. You guys should be using each other's stuff. Okay?
So if I were to start a group, because I'm a type 1 diabetic,
Okay?
I can do a group like that, basically, is what you're saying.
Is
You
that
could.
who you wanna work with? As
I
a
mean, it'd be
client?
awesome, I mean, go to the.
Well, like right now, we're doing the vets thing because we want to help vets. That's a big deal to us. So I'm going to be creating a vets group, and we're going to create our own version of Homes for Heroes. So that way, instead of the organization, I'm not making a dime off of it. I want to help the vets. I'll make my money when we close loans. You guys will, we'll all contribute to help the veteran out. I'll contribute, you'll contribute. But right now, the way the other group works is the vet gets something, but you got to pay for the group, right? Or the organization. We're not an organization. We're just going to be a good group of folks that come together for a common purpose. Okay? I probably wouldn't be that generic. Maybe like I'm a chairman. One of my best friends is in a wheelchair. I am a chairman of our nonprofit called The Short Bus. So my buddy in a wheelchair decided to buy a short bus because what's funnier than a guy in a wheelchair with a short bus? So what his whole purpose was, and we're putting this thing together, and we're gonna low ride it, and the whole thing is he wants to be able to go take it to car shows, but he wants to go pick up children at sick hospitals or people like himself who has muscular dystrophy and let them know that their disabilities don't limit them, kind of thing. So we got behind it and we did all that, but it's the purpose. So you can broaden it maybe just a little bit because you're saying, well, I don't have diabetes, you want to help me, right? I have lupus, so maybe what you come up with something a little different, but same concept. Okay. All right, so here's what not to do, which I already said. Don't bust in the group and ask for a listing or sale. It's really faux pas. Okay, you'll get blasted. Don't post your stuff without providing any value. This is where, like I said, you get to become the expert, and people will then reach out to you. Become a dog expert, and then they go over and they realize you sell real estate. There's a lady named Janice Bro. She was in a dog lovers group, and she does a lot of pet rescue types of things. And the lady went to her page and realized that she was an agent. And the lady's like, oh my God, I love the fact in what you're doing with the adoptions and this and that. And my husband and I are looking for a home. Can you help us? Just from the association. Okay. Don't tell everyone how awesome you are. Let social proof. Right? And don't disrespect the admins or the rules of the group. This will get you kicked out. So, I almost got kicked out of real estate happy hour. I don't know how, because apparently you can talk about half-naked people and sell me this pen and everything else, but I almost got kicked out. So anybody know Eli Torres? Right? So people either love Eli or they don't. So I like Eli a lot. He's a friend of mine. But I posted after I wrote the book. I was super, super excited. And I posted in there and I put the link, the Amazon link, right? Like I didn't write the book to get rich. I wrote the book to help people. So I was all excited. And he hits me up in a private message with a whole bunch of bad words in it and was like, what the hell was I doing? And this group is not meant to sell stuff and blah, 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 right? And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like, just take it down. I did take it down. If you do that again, you're thrown out of the group. I'm like, all right, crabby. You're not a big man. I'm not a big man either, but it wasn't like he was a real big man. I'm like, hey, keyboard warrior. No. So, sales talks with sales pros. Fast forward a few months. And someone is in there and they said, hey, I'm looking for a lender in Houston. I need someone to help me grow my business, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? It was Eli that was asking the question. And a whole bunch of people who I know, about 20 of them, we're going to have a whole class on this, basically said, if you're in Houston, you need to talk to Chad. teaches you how to grow your business through social media. He provides leads. He does this. He does that. He doubled my business in 8 months. I mean, it wasn't me saying I was great. It was other agents that I had helped build their business that did what I told them to do, gave me social proof. So Eli hits me up. We meet. I give him the book. He reads it. It gets better.
You should have made him buy it.
It gets better. So I give him the book. Then he reaches out to me and he's like, hey, the book really helped me. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've really kind of become a mentor. Right? So, and it was really, he was struggling with a lot of things like how I act in here and how I act in public are kind of different, but I'm probably more like that. And I'm like, just be you. Hence why I wore the t-shirt today. Like, just be you. People will attract and repel and this and that. So, we go to lunch one day and, he's telling me, what he wants to do and this kind of thing. So I gave him some advice and it worked out for him. So that afternoon, he takes a picture of the book, takes a selfie of him and the book, and tells everyone that they should read the book in Real Estate Happy Hour. Who then said, isn't that the guy you tried to kick out like 4 years ago?
I remember.
You never know who's watching.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of the story, though. But here's the thing, and we're friends still to this day. If you're in there, you saw the post he posted there tonight. It was a very personal post. I like Eli. He's a good guy. But I will tell you this: Eli became Eli after this. Eli, during the election, let everyone know that he was a big Trump supporter. Okay, Eli's from Puerto Rico. He's a Trump. But the way he took the approach was, I'm a Trump supporter. If you're not, it's not that you're an idiot. Right? Because that's the problem with anything political. Mm-hmm. If I don't agree with you, you're an idiot. No, he said, I'm a Trump supporter. Here's why. I came here from Puerto Rico. The U.S., Trump tends to be more pro-business, pro-capitalism. That's me. I came here. I sold cell phones for $10 an hour. And, someone invested in me. I became a real estate agent. I worked really, really hard. Right? His business doubled that year. And it wasn't because Trump supporters or whatever, because he was saying, hey, if you're not, cool. Like, let's talk about it in a, intelligent way and with some courtesy, respect, right? But guess what? It gave all those people he spent time with something else to talk about when they were in the car for 6 hours. And what he did is he attracted and repelled. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So I made a post, you can make posts, you don't have to tell your side, but be whoever you are. In the very first class, I'm going to show you, the first modern marketing class, I'm going to show you a guy that is just him. Because I don't think I've shown you all this yet. I can't remember, but we'll show you Nathan. But be you. Whoever they think they're calling should be who they're calling. Don't be something different to different people. Because guess what? That's really hard to keep up with because that's lying. And what I found is, right, if you're just who you are, it's really simple. Just be you. Some people will like you, some people won't. But here's what I will tell you guys for as you guys are doing this. If you don't start having people tell you that what you're doing is crazy and you suck, you're not doing it right. You want people to go, why are you posting so much on Facebook? I had someone one time go, why are you so damn happy? Why every day do you post an inspirational quote?
How else are you going to go through life?
Oh, no, most people are miserable. And I was like, well, I'm really not that happy, but, to me, it gets me off on the right foot in the morning, and I'm just trying to help people, and right?
It's a lot of engagement, a lot of weight with that.
Absolutely.
Huge.
The thing is, y'all know, you read the book. I lost my job at Weekly. I didn't even have a LinkedIn account, y'all. I thought I was going to retire there. Kat was there when I lost my job. It was devastating. It was devastating. I thought I was going to retire there. You know how many job opportunities over the 8.5 years I was there I didn't even go on interviews for? Just because I'm like, no. I was like this. And I ran the corporate rat race every single day. And it wasn't that I was not me, but I was probably more of a toned down me. And which kind of made me kind of miserable. And what I realized is I could just be me, and either you like it or you don't. And I'm totally okay with that. Frank is Frank. People love Frank. What's not to love about Frank?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? Frank's the man. But here's the thing. There will be some people that won't like. Because you'll have people that are like, you know what, I don't want to hear about your faith. To me, I'm like, that's inspiring. Mm-hmm. Right? I might say it with a whole bunch of F words, but I still feel the same way. It just makes me different, but the message is the same. Okay? But people will connect, and the problem with social media is you have too many people, and we're getting here, and the reason I'm telling you this is what happens in groups. Beware of Facebook famous. There are tons of people that are going to appear, right? The fake it till you make it. Don't fake it till you make it. People appreciate honesty. If you say, hey, you know what? I don't know, but let me figure it out, and then you figure it out, you just did more than most people. All right? So, here's what I want you to do when you find a post. You're going to compliment in the comments. So, will you come back next week?
Yes.
Awesome. Just making sure I didn't run you off. Okay. So, when you find someone on a house or whatever, what you want to do is you want to compliment them in the comments. I'm going to actually do this, and you'll see me physically do it. But you'll say, hey, great looking home. Now, I say use your real estate training. Doesn't really apply to this group, but most of the time when I do this, none of y'all have been trying to sell anything. You go and you get your license right, and you know how to not get sued because here's the 1-800 number to track, and maybe how to write a contract. But I'm going to teach you how to do this. But what you're doing here by you saying great looking home is you're making the poster feel special. I mean, everyone thinks their home is better than it is. I got the best house on the block, to me. Okay? So when you tell them great looking home, now here's where it gets dicey. Go friend the person if you're not currently friends with them. Why? Because we want them to see what it is that we do. We want them to know that we're a real estate agent. Because remember, this isn't a group. Now this is what really gets exciting. Send them a private message. Now wait till they friend you so you show up actually in their messages. If you do it before, you'll show up in the spam folder. Did y'all know there's a spam folder on, it's called trash? There's a spam folder.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's called unfiltered. Yeah, that's where all the weird horsehead people go.
See, I didn't know that. So what you're saying, let's say this again. So if you message someone before you've connected
It
on a
goes to
friend,
spam.
it goes to spam. I had
And
no
you never
idea.
see it.
And then they never If get you back look to you in and your you don't folder, know. you'll be like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I had like 60.
So where do you find folder? Is it on the left?
So yeah, I'll do it on your phone. There's a little thing that'll say like unfiltered. So or you'll say unfiltered messages, or maybe it's filtered. But
You probably got some stuff in there.
yeah, there's some crazy. Yeah, and there's probably people that you message that you thought, oh, I'm helping this person or
Yes.
whatever. That yeah. So here's what you say: I love the house. It's beautiful. I bumped up your post in the group by commenting on it, so you will have a better standing. I did something for you. This will increase your edge rank and increase your whip effect. Now here's what they heard. The hell is edge rank and whip effect? You just became a social marketing expert. You now know more than them because you know what that is, right?
Okay, I missed that class. Can you tell me what whip is?
So the whip effect is like what I was doing with the group. So what does a whip do? You rear it back to lunge forward. So you use personal engagement to get a lot of engagement. Like, what should I buy my wife for Valentine's Day? And then all those people that comment, like, share, whatever, when I post something about real estate, I show up in all their news feeds.
That's the.
Yep, that's the lunging your information forward. Now, here's the thing. Here's another tip. Maybe take the picture from this side so it's not all garage. Whatever it is, right? Use your training. Where here have you asked to represent them?
Nowhere.
You're the Good Samaritan and you just use some verbiage. They have no idea what it means. Which means you're a whole lot smarter because guess what their agent didn't talk about? They never talked about edge, rank, and whip effect. They said, I can get this thing on MLS for you. It's going to be awesome. Just like the other 40,000. Okay, so you start having these conversations. Now, they might be listed with an agent. Not a problem. You're just offering friendly advice. Because anybody call expireds? We've done it, right? Does it work? Absolutely. But when you're calling expired, you're saying, hey, I promise I don't suck as bad as Kat who didn't sell your house. Please use me. What this does is you start engaging with them. They start following you. They see what you're doing. So when my listing comes expired, I reach out and I say, hey, Frank, my listing is with Kat, but it's going to expire this weekend. If I don't sell it before this weekend, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing on social media. I'd like for you to be my real estate agent. Not the 48 people that call them on Monday. Okay? So, we did the sell like a woman, close like a man last time. All right. So, any questions on that while I get the other presentation up? Come on, y'all gotta have questions. I could not have been that thorough.
Should we be careful with what you're doing?
Yes and no. I mean, I wouldn't go 100 groups. You really only need 10 or 15 good groups.
Does it need to be on Facebook or it can be like next door?
We're talking about Facebook, but Nextdoor is a very good place to be. You can apply this to Nextdoor.
Sorry, Frank.
I'm glad you're happy.
Next door right now, would like to
Why did you get a case? I thought you were opposed to having a case.
to say post some
No, I
post
busted
on
my
Facebook. And I
I
think
told
what you do
you.
the option is either post on your friend's
No,
newsfeed
no, it
or
makes it
post on your
tacky.
friend's